Hello, it's Greg Harrelson here again with Century 21, the Harrelson Group, and I tell you, I'm just live and excited and just ready to share some additional information. Today's video is about complacency and being motivated, and of course, this is just the third video in a series of videos about generating more business around the holidays and the fourth quarter of your year, as well as doing the things in the fourth quarter that'll help propel you to reaching your goals for the following year once the new year starts. So let me just go ahead and get started. It's about complacency and motivation. See, this is the time of year when agents tend to take their foot off the gas. And there's all kinds of reasons why they may take their foot off the gas. Maybe they feel like they've got, a little bit of burnout. They've worked really hard, throughout the summer, and they just want to take some time off. They're thinking about the holidays and who's going to cook and where we're going to be at Thanksgiving. All these things, these are distractions. And, and the holidays are not like a distraction in a negative way, but it is a distraction. It's a distraction that interrupts the continuity of of the schedule that we've probably been following throughout the earlier parts of the year. So we have to be very careful, because a lot of times we'll take these distractions, we'll get out of our habits, and that will cause us to kind of kick into a complacency mode. If we get into complacency right now, if we start becoming complacent right now, then it's okay. Yes, you get a little bit of break. Your fourth quarter will suffer a little bit, but more important than your fourth quarter is your first quarter of the new year will be terrible. There'll be no momentum, and you'll start off in a hole and trying to figure out, what am I going to be able to do to make a quick commission so you can start paying the bills. So that's what this conversation is really about, complacency and motivation. So there's 3 reasons for complacency, and I think if you know the reasons why agents, become complacent, then you can, set up your own lifestyle, set up your own structure and internally to make sure that you avoid these pitfalls. But one of them is a lack of goals, not sure why they're working so hard. So, somebody can be out there, they're getting up early in the morning and they're grinding throughout the day and they're working really hard, but then they go home and they're like, gosh, why am I doing this? In other words, they don't have any goals. They haven't connected the dots between why, what they're doing and why they're doing it. And you have to connect the dots between what and why, or else you won't be inspired. You'll lose that inspiration and you'll lose that motivation, and you'll eventually just be complacent, and then your business starts going down. The other thing that we see is a lack of systems. When people are working really hard and burning the candles from both ends, it's great to look at somebody and say, wow, they've got fantastic work ethic. But, sometimes people have fantastic work ethic and they're working really hard because they don't have fantastic systems in place. And they're not leveraging technology, they're not leveraging systems, so therefore they're really on this hamster wheel working way harder than they need to be working, and that also kicks them into complacency. So the lack of systems, burnout's not always because you're being ultra productive. Sometimes burnout occurs because you're being inefficient. Burnout is not always because you're being ultra productive. Burnout often occurs because you're not efficient. And that's because you lack systems. You have to take the time to create systems on how you're going to do certain things in your business so you don't burn out and therefore you don't kick into complacency. Systems for taking listings, systems for researching properties, systems for everything, systems for how you're going to, communicate with other realtors about follow-up, or about feedback on properties that you've shown, or systems on how you're going to communicate to your sellers when other agents have actually provided follow-up on the showings of your listings. All of these things must be systematized. And then the third reason that I see people get complacent and they lack motivation is they just don't have fun. And I've always said, if it's not fun, then don't do it. But you have to be responsible with that, because fun is nothing more than a perception. And your perception becomes your reality. Obviously, we probably have all heard that, and most of us will believe that. And if you perceive that what you're doing is not fun, then guess what? It's not. That's real. And if it's not fun, eventually you'll stop doing it. And you'll stop doing it, you'll become complacent, you'll lose your motivation, and then you start to see your business go down. So this is the time of the year where we can kind of look in the rearview mirror at what we did and ask ourselves, was it a grind? Did we have fun, or was it a grind? You know, you figure these things out and you find out, how are you going to have fun in your business in the last quarter? How are you going to bring more fun to your business? How can you change your perception so some of the things that you're doing are not such a struggle? They become more fun, and now all of a sudden, fun leads to motivation. It happens every single time. So the three things were: lack of goals creates complacency. Lack of systems creates complacency. Lack of fun creates complacency. All of us will run away if we're not having fun. Now, some of you will look at this and say, well, Greg, business is not all about fun. I disagree. Business can be fun if you will actually take a much more positive mindset towards everything that you're doing. That's the critical point. So I'm Greg Harrelson with Century 21, the Harrelson Group, here in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. If you want to have fun and grow your business at the same time, we're definitely a company you should check out. We're looking for a couple agents right now to kind of join our company that we can help develop and coach, train, and offer resources and services that'll take them to the next level. So if you have an interest or know anyone thinking about making a change to another real estate company or getting into real estate, we would love the opportunity to talk with you and share what we're up to. Greg Harrelson, Century 21, the Harrelson Group. Have a great day.